Hello guys, I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we will going to discuss about Gojo vs Sukuna rematch. And don't get angry, I am not saying Gojo is coming back. I am talking about how this fight will go if Gojo wasn't killed by Sukuna. If Sukuna in his true form fight against Gojo right now, and in this fight they both know their trump cards and abilities that are revealed in Manga chapter 237. So that fight will going to be amazing because both knows what their opponent have. But does it going to change the result? Well, it will not. Let me explain. In Sukuna vs Gojo fight, Sukuna was stronger from the start and holding back, and it was confirmed by Gojo himself. But people will now going to say that Sukuna was using Megumi's curse technique, so technically Sukuna was cheating. Well, only fools without a brain thinks that. Let me remind, Sukuna 15 finger no diff Mahuraga, so Mahuraga was not a big problem for Gojo, and Gojo already prepared for Mahuraga. So why Sukuna was using Mahuraga if he was not that strong? Well, this is the question that people need to ask. But answer is already revealed in chapter 236. In chapter 236, Sukuna was telling Gojo that he used Mahuraga to find a way to bypass infinity. Because in that entire fight, Gojo's infinity was the biggest problem for Sukuna. Sukuna doesn't know how to cut through infinity, so he used Mahuraga who can adapt to any curse technique. And when Mahuraga cut Gojo's hand, that was what Sukuna waiting for entire time. Mahuraga cut Gojo's hand by cutting space and time, and Sukuna saw that and copied it, and then he cut Gojo in half. So the entire point of using Mahuraga was just to find a way to cut through infinity. That's all. It was not because Sukuna was weaker than Gojo. And don't forget, if it was not Sukuna in that fight, then Gojo will one-shot Mahuraga. So in the entire fight, Sukuna was protecting Mahuraga from Gojo. But now some people going to say that Mahuraga was also protecting Sukuna. Well, that is true, but every time Mahuraga protects Sukuna from Gojo's attack, in the end Gojo was able to land that attack on Sukuna. Even if it was red or blue or holo purple max, Sukuna still tanked all of them and he was still standing, while Sukuna's attack wasn't reaching Gojo at full power because of infinity. So the entire argument of Mahuraga or Ten Shadow is just an excuse to say that Sukuna won the fight because of Ten Shadow, and that is completely false. Now in a rematch, things are completely different because now Sukuna don't need to worry about infinity, because now he knows how to cut infinity. Still, Gojo will going to give a very good fight to Sukuna, but he will going to lose because Sukuna can cut space and time, and that is one of the most powerful attack in anime. And there are other points that foreshadows that Sukuna is stronger than Gojo. For example, Sukuna's past that nobody talk about. In Sukuna's past, it was revealed that Sukuna was the strongest sorcerer in golden age of Jujutsu sorcery. Every sorcerer in that era was strong, while Gojo was the strongest in current era, where there are only 4 or 5 special grade sorcerers in the entire world. In the golden age, sorcerers are at the peak, so it is safe to say that there were so many special grade sorcerers that time. So it is safe to say that Sukuna was the strongest among the strong, while Gojo was the strongest among the weak. So it clearly shows that Sukuna was already above Gojo in terms of status. And there one more thing that Sukuna was above Gojo, and that is knowledge. People need to understand that knowledge is power, but in the hand of characters like Sukuna, knowledge is the biggest power. Sukuna used his knowledge on so many occasions. For example, Sukuna only able to figure out that Mahuraga can adapt to infinity because he have that knowledge about Mahuraga. He knows that how Mahuraga abilities work and how to copy it. Mahuraga's attack bypassed infinity few times, but Sukuna waited for an attack that he can copy. It was only possible because of his knowledge. Sukuna's domain is the only domain that can be open or closed. That shows that Sukuna take his ability to its peak because of his knowledge about curse energy. Sukuna's knowledge on curses and cursed energy made him one of the best curse technique user that Gojo was not, because Gojo doesn't realize what Sukuna was aiming for entire time. He thinks that Sukuna is using Mahuraga to kill him, and that is his shortcoming. And another reason that Gojo will still going to lose in his rematch is that he is not the main character. Gojo fans need to accept that Gojo is not the main character, it is Itadori Yuji. Well, why it is matter though? Because the entire plot of the story is to kill Sukuna. It is funny that Gojo fans forget that the entire show was about to kill Sukuna once and for all. And Itadori's whole arc and story revolve around Sukuna, that how he was created by Kenjaku just as a vessel for Sukuna. And imagine Gojo killed Sukuna, that will be the worst story plot ever. Because if Sukuna loses, that's the end of the story. Because there is no one left to deal with. Because Kenjaku can't do a shit against Gojo, even Yuta can fuck him up. and there were so many characters that were waiting for a fight. What are they going to do? So it was always clear from the start of the story that if Gojo fights Sukuna, then Sukuna will kill him. And that was great plot for the story because it is a reminder to Itadori that the person he thinks who can beat Sukuna is dead right now. So Itadori needs that confidence and revenge feeling and need to know his responsibility that he have to end Sukuna once and for all. And one of the biggest reasons that Sukuna can still kill Gojo is that he still have a lot that he didn't show to us. Because now in his fight against Kashimo, we saw his true form and now he also have a weapon, but still we don't know what he have in that black box. So his true power is still unknown and we still don't know what will happen to 10 shadow technique if all the shadows were defeated. That is also a mystery. So Sukuna still have a lot to show that we will going to see in future. So again, I am going to say this, if you like it or not. If Gojo fights Sukuna again, Sukuna will kill Gojo with less effort. Because now Gojo doesn't stand a chance against Sukuna. So that's all for today. I hope you like this video. Share it, subscribe the channel.